Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend. Welcome to another episode of Monday Masters. So, if you've been following Kokoist USA for about the past week or so, we've been really excited for the release of the new formulation of the Gelip soft gel extension system. You can now shop these online on kokoistusa.com. They have been released along with the startup kits, the intro kits, the full collections, as well as the Super Gelip Bond base that we have also released today. So in light of this, I did want to do a little bit of a product focus on the Super Gelip Bond. This is what we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to be talking about this in relation to the Gelip Bond base, which is what we usually retail for the application of the Gelip tips, but it is going to be replaced by this product. So I figured it'd be a really good opportunity to do a little bit of a focus on it. So a little bit of product info, why it's different, what's changed, why you might use it over the original Gelip Bond base, and what you might notice when you are actually using it on a client. Let's get started. So when it comes to doing enhancements, specifically for me on my clients, I really do like to use the Gelip system just because it's really easy to apply, they look really beautiful, it's easy to overlay them, and you can rebalance them multiple times. So for instance, if I have a client that has a natural nail manicure, like a structured gel manicure, and they break one nail, the Gelip is a really great system to get an enhancement on quickly, and we can fill that enhancement until it becomes just a natural nail again. Now, up until now, we have been using the Gelip Bond base, so that's the gold bottle with the black lid, and this has been the product that we use to apply the Gelip tips onto the natural nail. So the application order would be a layer of Gelip Bond base all over the nail, right back to the cuticle, cure that fully, and then we're going to apply this to the underside of the Gelip tip, that pre-etched area, and apply the Gelip tip a little bit down the nail, cure that in place, fully cure, and then we'll wipe the nail because there's going to be a little bit of inhibition layer, and then we would file to refine and blend the tip into the existing or the exposed natural nail, and then we overlay with our builder of choice. So this has been really fantastic in terms of improving adhesion, preventing pop-offs, curing really quickly in place so that we don't get as many air bubbles and shifting issues. This has eliminated a lot of issues that I had before this product came out with the Gelip system. This product really made me fall in love with Gelips. When I first opened this bottle of Super Gelip Bond, the very first thing I noticed was that, wow, it's a little thicker than the Gelip Bond base that I'm used to. Gelip Bond base feels a little bit kind of like Mega Stick, maybe a little bit thicker than Mega Stick. This one feels a little bit more like a builder viscosity. It's got a little bit more body to it, a little more volume. So when I took this and I was applying it to the nail or applying it to the tip, it really was kind of imparting a little bit of a thicker layer, which I found very interesting. At first, I wasn't sure I was going to like that, but then I realized that it actually made my life a lot easier. Because of this kind of extra volume we have out of this product, I don't feel as I don't feel I needed to apply a thin layer all over the tip and then that well of gel right at the cuticle area before I applied it. Just doing like a nice layer of this gel really made it super easy to just go ahead and apply the tip. And I didn't feel like I needed to use as much product or as much effort to get the right amount of product on the tip. So the real key thing to note here is that this product, especially in tandem with the new formulation of the Gelip tips, these Gelip tips are now made with a product called PMMA, which is a very specific type of soft gel type plastic, and it is designed to marry with this gel. So those tips and this gel actually kind of fuse together, they melt together, and they really help to, when worked in tandem, they prevent a lot of pop-offs. In the past, if you use too little of the Gelip Bond base, a lot of the time the tip can flex and bend and end up popping off that gel and leave the gel on the actual nail. This guy eliminates that issue because this product actually fuses with the gel tip. It eliminates a ton of issues with tips popping off. With this new formulation, it can be used as a base. So I've done a couple of testers with a couple of different clients, and I have applied this directly to the natural nail, applied it all over the nail, cured that, and then applied my tip using the same Super Gelip Bond. And in certain instances, it has been absolutely fine. But if you have maybe clients with problem nails, or if you are a beginner and you're concerned with your retention, there's nothing wrong with putting a layer of Mega Stick base underneath the Super Gelip Bond. I wouldn't say it is a 100% necessary step, but if you are trying to take every step necessary or every step you possibly can to prevent lifting and delamination, a little Mega Stick base underneath the Super Gelip Bond is not going to be a bad move. Another thing I really love with this new formulation, the Super Gelip Bond, is that there is little to no inhibition layer with this product once you cure it. So that means once you put it under the lamp and it fully cures, you don't have very much of a sticky, tacky layer, that inhibition layer, to wipe away before you go and refine or file. And even underneath the nail, when you apply that tip, if you have a little bit of gel coming out from the free edge of the natural nail that's kind of in open air underneath the Gelip tip, you don't have to worry about there being too much of a tacky layer there, where you would have to clean it off or be really, really careful. Otherwise, you could get kind of dirt and grime and grease and dust kind of sticking underneath your client's natural nails. It's going to be a much more comfortable wear for everybody. Something else to note here when you are switching from the Gelip Bond base to the Super Gelip Bond. When we have this product, this was an acceptable product to use to do overlays with. So after you've applied your Gelip tip away from the cuticle, you've blended that line between the natural nail and the Gelip tip, you could have used this Gelip Bond base to overlay the enhancement just to smooth out that entire surface. It was a great option to use if you were doing a shorter overlay. So this was kind of an advantage here. The Super Gelip Bond is not something that I would recommend to do that with. This product does not rely on any kind of hardness. Its job is to be sticky. So this is not something that will have many self-leveling properties. And it's not something that I would recommend to build anything with. If you are working with like those new shapes that we came out with, the square short and the coffin short, those really short nails, and you've applied your tip with the Super Gelip Bond, you could actually go in and just resurface the tip and the natural nail with something like Mega Stick Base even would be just fine. Mega Stick Base is acceptable just to smooth out the surface. You could use the Nail Thoughts Tinted or Clear Builder Base, Platinum Filler Base, Excel Builder Clear. Something that's really, really nice to note about the new Gelips is that because they are a little bit thicker at the apex and a little bit thinner at the tip, the structure is a little bit more built into the actual tips of the nails. So they have a little bit more stability to themselves. So whatever we're putting over top is more of a smoothing factor and more of a use of kind of getting gel placed back all the way to the cuticle so that you have a really nice tight fit around the cuticle and side walls there, and then it blends onto the tip. The tip itself actually has a lot of structure built into it now so that you do not need to rely on the product you are overlaying with for that stability. So the technical lineup there would be either Super Gelip Bond or Mega Stick Base applied directly to the natural nail, applying your Gelip tip with the Super Gelip Bond, file and blend, wipe away, and then overlay with Mega Stick Base or your builder of choice. This is not a builder, this is a base coat, but again, because we have more structure built into those new Gelip tips, you could use Mega Stick Base to overlay and you would be absolutely fine. Now, when your client comes back and that Gelip tip has grown out and moved down the nail, you are going to want to switch to something like the Platinum Filler Base or like the Nail Thoughts Builders. Because you are going to need a little bit more stability, you are now reducing and rebalancing and resurfacing that tip. So now everything is a little bit more off balance and you will be eliminating that apex. So you do need to replace it with something with a little more strength. And for those of you who love the Gelip Bond Mochi, don't worry, it's not going anywhere. She's going to be a part of the line still. She's not moving. We are not discontinuing this guy. So there you go, a little bit more information about our new friend, Super Gelip Bond. As always, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, you can drop them in the comment section down below, and we'll do our very best to get back to you as quickly as possible. I hope you have an amazing work week. Try and take it easy on yourself. I cannot wait to see what you guys think about the new Super Gelip Bond and the new formulation of Gelips. Don't forget, they are available now at kokoistusa.com. They just released on today, February 3rd, and we really are so excited to see how you guys feel about these new formulations. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Monday Masters. I hope you enjoyed it, and come back right here in another 7 days for another episode with me. Have a great day.